Hello, welcome to Whispering River. This video is going to be about a question I get asked quite a bit when people find out that I'm into gold mining, and that is, can you make money as a gold miner, as a small scale gold miner, just gold panning and using high bankers and just mining by hand? Obviously, if you get into a bigger operation, we've all seen that you can make money at that. But what about an entry level, just a person starting out with not much equipment, not much experience? Um, is it possible to make money? And the answer to that is absolutely. You can make a decent amount of money just as a hand miner, just gold panning and high banking. And it's not something that you can quit your job and go do. I mean, there's people that have done it, and there's people that probably do make a living as a hand miner. I could see situations where it is possible, but it's not something I would recommend, and it's going to be a hard road. And unfortunately, it's going to require a bit of luck, which all gold mining does require a certain amount of luck to make it successful, and everything would have to go pretty right for you to do that. But what I would tell people is, and what I've done myself, is to not do it full time, but have it as a side hustle and a part time occupation and job there. And I started out 2012 was my first year buying a claim, and that's when I really got into it. And honestly, my first few years, I didn't find much. I kind of joke now that I would be gone for 12 hours and it'd be dark, and I'd have, 5 missed phone calls from my wife on my phone wondering if I'm still alive. And I'd have a couple new dents in my truck and a broken handle on my shovel, and I would come home with just a few specks of gold in a pan. And that's kind of how my days went at first. It took me a while to figure it out, but as I did figure it out, every year it seems like I'm progressing, where I'm able to find more and just find ways to be more productive and to do things with. Seems like I can do things more efficiently and faster and just accumulate more gold. So it's definitely a learning curve on gold mining. And I would say it's similar to doing an apprenticeship, or learning any work skill, where if you try to jump right in, it's not going to go good, but you got to build up the skill set and the knowledge to do it. But it's definitely worthwhile to put the time in to become competent at it, where you can go out in the bush and get gold. And then also to get yourself set up. Like, to start out is pretty tough because you have to have somewhere to mine, and having access to good ground or even your own gold claim is pretty important, because you can only mine as much ground as, or as much gold as what's in the ground. So that's the other thing, is it takes time. And even some areas where I've been successful, it would almost take me a whole year. I can think of one instance where I worked on a claim for a whole year and didn't really figure it out until the following year. I just kept trying things, and some worked and some didn't. And that's what I do, is I'll sit at home and draw up plans and write down what my attack plan is, and then I go out in the bush and I just try things. And it's a lot more failures than successes, but when you do start to have the successes, it's really rewarding. And then you start figuring out an area, and then you can make a game plan on how to mine. And then the other thing I think a lot of people can go wrong with, and this is something I did right away too, is I bought my first gold claim, and then I ran out and bought a bunch of equipment right away too. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had a gold claim, but I didn't even know where to mine on it, and I didn't know what the gold looked like, and I didn't even know really how to get started. And I would recommend putting the time in on the gold pan, and just learning and being patient with it. And it's funny because I can go back to places like the here where I live at the Wild Horse Rec Center, and when I was first learning, I'd go there and hardly find anything, and now I can go out there and actually get a decent amount of gold with just panning, because you just sort of you learn instincts, and you just kind of know where to dig and how to pan a lot faster and more confidently. So I would say, if you have a desire to get into it, absolutely. It's one of the best decisions I ever made, was to get into gold mining, and it's been so much fun. And I've met so many cool people, and just have so many cool stories. And every time I'm up there, I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm super passionate about it, and I'm really glad I took that step. And I would encourage people, the hardest part is to get started. And even if you're in an area where there isn't gold, just get a gold pan and just go to a beach and practice panning. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, I know guys would sweep up from welding shops, would just sweep up little filings and stuff and throw that into dirt and go practice panning that out. And you don't necessarily need to be on good ground to learn how. You can start building your your gold mining skill set, and then start figuring out a plan a vacation to somewhere where there's good gold mining, or start looking at getting your own ground to mine. So yeah, I just like to encourage people that if you're thinking about it, go for it, and focus on, you know, gold panning at first, and finding a good place for yourself to pan, and or high bank, and yeah, go for it. So thanks for watching. Bye.